The button, the
And
button.
we are live because she hit the button.
She hit
Hello,
the button.
everybody. Happy Hump Day. It is Wednesday, and this is what you need to know. Welcome to Wednesday and our lively crew. Hello, Myra J.
Hello, Sybil Wilkes.
Hello, Stephen Hill.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I'm so sorry. I did not see you there. Yeah. How you doing?
Is it the glasses?
Not
It is.
even
I
in
think
the
it is.
different
I think it
glasses,
is.
huh?
No, that's true. Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Merry Wednesday. Merry Wednesday.
your ring light it's a different look
I
in
know.
those glasses.
I'm trying to
That's
give it.
real.
There we go.
That,
We'll go
that,
with that for now.
so now you got the Urkel kind of nerdy guy thing happening with switching them, moving them up like that, right?
Did I do that? Funny story. Urkel was on a show called Charlie and Company. It was Flip Wilson and
Oh
Gladys Knight,
wow! Yeah.
which is when Bill Cosby had his big show. They had that Urkel. I swear to God, Jaleel White and our pictures when we were about 3 years old look almost exactly identical.
Really?
Like we looked so much alike as children. It was kind of first time I saw him on TV. It was kind of scary. It was kind of scary.
And so, did you look at your mom or your dad and say, "Did you have?"
The funny thing about my dad actually looked at the TV screen and said, "Did I do that?"
Right.
Go hold it, everybody. Has anybody seen the? I have not, and I meant to watch it because I've had time in the middle of the night to do this. To watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion.
No, I haven't seen it yet. Doggone it.
Yeah, me either. Hopefully tonight. Well, hopefully tonight I'll be sleeping, but if I'm awake, I'm definitely going to be watching that. And tonight, if I'm the only one that cares, the NBA draft. Anybody?
Oh.
Any?
Yes.
No.
Well,
Myra just.
Well, yes, but totally just quick sidebar. But I did see Jingle Jangle for anyone who hasn't seen it. Wonderful. Okay.
Don't you love it?
Back to the NBA draft. Okay.
Yeah. I agree about Jingle Jangle, and our friends David E. Talbot and his wife Lynn, Sisson Talbot,
yes.
wrote, produced, and directed that movie, and it's so delightful.
It is.
Oh, I love it so much. I really do. And I tagged her in my post about it, and she responded. I would love to have them on. They were with us on the cruise a few years back.
Yes.
And just a delightful couple. Absolutely delightful. And so incredibly talented. I'm so happy for them.
Yes.
I am as well.
Yes.
I think the download on this was number 2 this week. It premiered Friday, and it was number 2. I think behind Kevin Hart's No F's Given.
Okay.
Yes. It's also one I haven't seen it. I want to see. Have you seen it? I have not seen it.
I did.
I haven't seen that.
And I got to tell you, I enjoyed it.
Did you?
I really did.
Okay.
I really did.
You seem surprised by that.
I was, because quite honestly, I'm not a big fan of his stand-up.
Really? I love his stand-up.
I do as well.
I love his stand-up.
And I have spent money watching his stand-up, in order to support him. But the other night, Yolanda says because I was sleep deprived. But
That's so funny.
I honestly laughed out loud. I thought it was very funny.
Oh,
so I've had good Netflix experiences this week.
Oh, good.
But have not seen and I can't wait to see the Fresh Prince reunion. So if anybody has seen that, please let us know. Yeah. So tonight is the NBA draft, and it's kind of anticlimactic because of the way the season has gone this year. Obviously, the Lakers, the champs, and we do recognize that it is all done within the bubble, and so just a different season all the way around for most of the professional sports. But it is worth noting that one of the ball boys is is going to be going early on in the draft, and so it's not only how good this kid is, but how much the team wants to put up with their father LeVar.
How much pain tolerance?
How much pain tolerance? Yeah, exactly right. Because he, as we've seen, and I don't even know directly, but just from what we've seen over the years, he's a handful. He's a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
and so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Myra.
Get present. Yes, teacher. That I wasn't talking.
No, you weren't. You were
Okay.
engaged, however. So, our first story on the newsletter today is about Georgia being on the minds of Republicans everywhere, including those who have no business interfering in the vote tallies.
It's like you don't live here. Get out of our business.
That would be to South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who, he had his own things to deal with. He won his election. Let's go on. But apparently, he is not the only one, but he is one that we know of that called the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and to talk about how possibly the signature thing worked. And
Right.
were there some signatures on the mail-in ballots or the absentee ballots that could be tossed out after they had already been counted, right?
Yeah. Because he was so concerned about Georgia and the recount that he's making it perfectly clear he wasn't asking him to throw the votes out, but he just wanted to know that if you looked at a signature and maybe if it was questionable, if you threw it in the trash, I ain't mad at you. That's what he was saying.
No, what he was doing, obviously, he was just trying to fact find. You guys jump to conclusions. All he wanted to do was understand the process. Because as he did with every state that had a close margin, he found wait, I'm sorry, he didn't call North Carolina because Trump won?
No.
He didn't call
He only called
Georgia, but he
only did and Arizona.
No.
Only the ones where Biden won. That's where he was calling.
Yes. Yeah, no. Yeah.
He said that he did, but apparently others are saying that he did not. State representatives and elections judges and what have you saying he's not calling so much. But we know why.
And Lindsey Graham, we busy. We still trying to recount the damn votes here, which we haven't finished yet. And today is the deadline. And you over here starting mess with your unnecessary phone calls. Get out our business.
But finding the positive side on everything, shout out to Ben Roethlisberger, who is the Secretary of State for.
No.
It's something like Roethlisberger. It's something like Ratzenberger, the guy who played Cliff on Cheers, like Ratzenberger. Right? It's Roethlisberger. It's a burger.
It's a burger.
Point is, he is the Republican Secretary of State who called out impropriety, even though it was in his own party. So. In all this nastiness of Lindsey Graham, you got to shout out the guy who wants to play it down the line and correctly. So,
and he's getting death threats now.
He's catching hell.
Death threats.
Yeah, as a result of
not me.
And from his fellow Republicans.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Georgia's lit right now. Georgia is, and the Trumplicans were. Yes, they were down at the Capitol marching today, going stop stealing our votes because the county. They had their little march and they flags and and they look caps.
Did they have as many as they had in DC over the weekend, Myra? Do you know?
The
Trumplicans?
According to the Trumplicans, yes, it was as many there as was at the inauguration. Yes. Yes.
So all of this attention, of course, going to and I think that it has to do with Lindsey Graham trying to still toady up to the president and say, we got you. We're trying to make sure that all the votes are counted and yada yada yada. And he did. Some votes they mysteriously were discovered from one county. What 2,700 votes, Myra?
From two counties.
Four counties.
Four counties.
Four counties. 2,700, 2,600,
right?
And the other ones were like
smaller, right?
280 and 273.
Right.
But there was four separate counties. So of course now Fox News is like fraud everywhere. Fraud everywhere. Fraud.
But the bottom line is, you're still lost. So Not
It
enough
wasn't enough.
to make a difference. And this really reminds me of just this whole pursuit of, let's face it, T-Rump knows he lost. It's over. But it's kind of like the bitter ex, like, I can't have you, so I don't want nobody else to have you. So
America.
right. So he's just making mess right now. That's what my grandmother would call it, just being
Making
messy.
mess.
Making mess over there,
Yeah.
making mess. Yes.
Sometimes you can make a good living at doing that, Myra. I'm just saying. Yes, Stephen Hill?
I think the problem is Trump doesn't know that he lost. Like, he really does not know that he lost. And that's what's causing all this challenge. He truly believes his own lies. And behind that, right, because nobody wants to alienate Trump, even though they don't believe it, they have to line up against them for their own political good. So I think the challenge really is that Trump he's a megalomaniac, he's a narcissist, and he truly believes there's no way that he could have lost this election. There isn't. Now, the fact that this is the second popular election that he's lost, second popular vote he's lost, doesn't really seem to sink in.
Right.
So the fact that he tweeted out on Sunday that Biden won, and then he came back and said, no, I concede nothing. Where does that fit in?
But you have to read the whole truth. The whole tweet was, the first line was, I'm not going to get it exactly right. He won because of election fraud. Right. Mm-hmm. But everybody just took the line, he won. He didn't really mean he won. It's like saying, the first line was he won because of election fraud. He didn't mean he means, people are saying that he's winning, he was winning, but I actually won. If you count the true and real votes, I won. If you go back and look at the tweet,
not the votes for Biden, but the real true votes for him. Yeah.
Right. And I got to tell you, I thought both sides of the media were unfair for parsing that tweet that way, because it was clear when you took it in context that he didn't really mean, like, there was no concession in any part of that tweet. It was just the only reason he won, people are saying he won, basically, is because everybody else cheated.
Well, I just feel like the Republicans apparently have never been in a gang, or they didn't come from a big family, because I'm like, if you all look around, you outnumber him. There's no need to be afraid for any reason. Y'all can take him, his kids, the wife, his minions, Giuliani. You can take them all down. You can take them all down if you were a united front. But apparently, like I said, y'all didn't come from a big family.
Okay. Yeah.
Y'all don't know how to roll deep. Y'all don't know how to go knock on somebody's door and say, let's roll. Okay. Let's go. No questions asked.
The power this man has is scary. That's what I remind people.
The whole thing.
You guys, I need to make a stop here.
Okay. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, just put the thumb up there.
What? Should we be blocking this? Like, don't look at us.
There we go. All right.
Really?
All right.
Huh?
Really?
What?
Your people are just interesting. They can't hear you because you have a hair out of it.
Yes. Okay, I didn't know. Yes.
Is that what's going on, listeners?
Yes.
For real, but viewers, I should say.
Yes. Should we call them out by name? Who are?
Yeah. Colette and Teddy can't hear because I have a hair out of place.
Danielle, what's up? Danielle, what's happening with you?
Well, I'll pull a booby out and we'll stop all that. Okay? That'll be a distraction.
You go first, Steve.
Right. We'll stop all this hair talk, doggone it.
Steve, you go first.
And it's back. See?
Oh. I thought it would take longer.
How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard that? Oh, well, okay.
No, really, how many times? Really? No, really.
If I had a dime for every time I heard that, I'd have 5 cents.
Yeah. Okay, so I contend that Brad or Raffensperger is who is also quarterbacking the elections in the state of Georgia.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Thanks. I contend that he is looking forward to a statewide race of his own and perhaps taking on Brian Kemp in the for the Republican nomination for Georgia governor in a couple of years.
Really?
You think so?
I think so because of his honesty and earnestness. I think he's damaged his chances to do that.
Okay,
right?
But no, because he hasn't damaged it with Democrats. Because they respect him for being so down the middle and being so honest in all this, which is 180 degrees from the way that Brian Kemp has acted as the Secretary of State, running for governor, not doing things by the book. Then I think that he is going to garner the respect of Democrats, and that they will be a part, unless Stacey Abrams runs again.
Well, I was going to say,
unless Stacey runs, then all bets are off.
Or another Democratic candidate, right? My point is.
No, I'm just talking about for the nomination. I'm just talking about he can unless Stacey Abrams runs for the Democratic nomination while they are having the Republican nomination race. I think that that the current Secretary of State is going to take on the governor.
Oh, you mean by switching parties?
No, I think he's still going to run as a Republican. But I think he's
going to be Kemp in the primary.
He's going to beat him by running for the nomination. If they run against each other in the primary, if Kemp and Raffensperger run against each other in the primary,
yes,
and people will support.
Democrats can't vote for Republicans in the primary.
You know what?
What?
You can walk over to the other side and vote in the primary.
Democrats have to vote in the Democratic primary. Republicans vote in the Republican primary.
You know
Democrats can't cross over.
Really? In what world?
In a primary, you have your own party.
You have never crossed over to vote for somebody in another party.
In a general election, yes. In a primary.
No. In a primary. I'm talking about in a primary. You
have to be registered. That's why you register Republican or Democrat. I'm pretty sure for primaries.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can register and change your registration.
But then you're not going to vote. But that means you can't vote for Stacey Abrams in the Democratic primary. You can either vote in one or the other.
Steve, I'm saying unless Stacey Abrams runs, then Brad Raffensperger has a better chance of taking on Brian Kemp and winning the Republican nomination. If Stacey runs, all bets are off. Nobody's going to vote for Brad Raffensperger. Nobody's going to flip over to the Republican Party and vote for him. But I think because of the way he has shown himself to work with such honesty and staying above all of the horrific cheating that has gone on or been suggested, that he's going to get a lot of support from people unless Stacey Abrams runs.
That would require a very large number of people switching parties to make that happen. And I see a few. I don't see that many. Because there's still a lot of Republicans in Georgia.
I think that many people hate Brian Kemp.
Except here.
Oh yeah.
Here, he's called Brian.
I'm sorry.
It's Brian.
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 Oh, but I absolutely do. I think that people are fully capable, if they're Democrats, of switching over in order to make a statement against Brian Kemp.
To be honest, I don't think people will switch. I think what's going on here, people respect what Brad Burger.
Cliff from Cheers. Cliff Ratzenberger.
Mr. R has done, but not enough to switch parties. However, I do think that there are probably enough Republicans and maybe independents that if he did run could split the vote enough, because you have to get 50% plus one. So they could split it to force a runoff.
Mm-hmm. I will go and follow you because you're there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking ahead, and I think that he has separated himself enough from the ugliness of the party, of the state party, that he could do very well with independents and Democrats the next time around. But we'll see. I mean, this could all be for naught. He could just, go get a scratch-off ticket and run and win millions of dollars and say, I'm out of here. God
I'm
bless
out.
you. Yeah,
Mega Millions, I'm out.
I'm gonna take my peach lotto millions and go. How about this case? This is out of Virginia. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we go on, want to remind people that the runoffs are scheduled for Georgia. If you have not seen it, if you've missed it, the runoffs are scheduled for the last day to vote in the runoffs is January 5th.
Yes.
The last day to register is December 7th.
And I do believe absentee ballots are being mailed out starting today. You can still go online, request one, and I don't know the date of early voting, but early voting starts relatively soon.
Yeah,
like in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
December 7th. A day that will live in infamy.
A day until I guess World War I or World War II. And so we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting, and if you do not live in Georgia, a reminder: you can still be involved. You can donate your money. You can donate your time. By calling and making calls for people and doing those two things. And a reminder, the two runoffs, one between David Perdue, who is the incumbent Republican, against John Ossoff, and the second is between Kelly Loeffler, the incumbent, and that is against the Reverend Raphael Warnock, who is the Democrat.
And just real quick before we move on, you know it's time for the ugly campaign ads, right?
Yeah.
So, have you seen it against Reverend Warnock?
So
they can't find anything on Reverend Warnock.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally took the same clip from Reverend Jeremiah Wright out of Chicago. Remember when Obama was running and he was saying, got America, and he's with this man, and and he's a terrorist, and my jaw literally dropped.
Yeah, that's the level to which they have sunk.
Yeah.
Two things. Brenda, it went McCutcheon, I believe it was. Googled it and says Georgia has open primaries. So Sybil, you got this. So everybody vote for Ben Roethlisberger in the next primary. Number one, and number two, I just want to let you know: do not move to Georgia. You cannot move to Georgia to vote. So let me be clear: this. Don't let them catch you moving to Georgia to vote.
We full.
Public service announcement.
Don't
let them catch you moving to Georgia. PSA, player. PSA.
So, George Wallace, I don't know what this means for you, but that was a public service announcement for you. And George will be with us tomorrow, and we're going to continue the conversation about Georgia. We will have the attorney C.K. Hoffler, the president of the National Bar Association, and also attorney Barbara Arnwine joining us tomorrow with George Wallace to talk about Georgia. So here's a case in Virginia. In Portsmouth, Virginia, to be specific. The police chief's name is Angela Green. She was fired after charges were dropped against a high-ranking state senator, Louise Lucas. She is Virginia's most senior Black legislator. And did I mention that the Portsmouth police chief, Angela Green, is also a Black woman? And this has to do with this group that was charged with conspiracy to commit a felony and injury to a monument after a June 10th protest against George Floyd's murder. Demonstrators painted the Confederate statues, ripped off some of their heads, and toppled a statue, which left a demonstrator critically injured. As I mentioned, the police chief is Black, announced the charges after police accused the Senator Lucas of being with a group of people shaking cans of spray paint, telling police they were going to vandalize the statues and saying, "You can't stop us." So she was fired as a result of this. And so now she is suing them because of this and the dismissal of the motion. So I'm not sure about this case, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm with this police chief.
So you have
She
to
was
ask
fired for doing her job.
Yes. The thing that confuses it to me, because when I saw the What You Need to Know newsletter today, I'm so used to wanting to root for everybody black.
Yeah.
That there's blacks on both sides of this, and so you can't. So you have to pick a black.
Pick a black.
You got to pick a black. Right? And so that's what threw me off, because one black woman is the police chief who charged another black woman who's the senator with a crime that got dismissed, and then this police chief who was a black woman got fired.
Right.
And didn't get, by the way, got no severance,
Nothing.
Really?
Just cut off.
Really?
So I think there's a way for everybody to have won. You know, you're doing your job. Yeah. You can't get fired just for doing your unless she's had a history of this. If she got fired for this, that's a bad idea. That's a bad thing.
It really is a bad look. And I'm not saying that I don't agree with the fact that I think some civil disobedience sometimes is necessary, and especially when you're talking about Confederate statues and what have you. I'm not mad at the people for doing that. But if it's against the law and they were retained, and they were restrained rather, or arrested, and she was doing her police force was doing their job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is I don't know.
I think I'm with you, Sybil. Yeah, she was because here's the thing: if she didn't do anything,
right,
they would have said she's allowing the blacks to destroy property.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so, come on, Portsmouth. This is not a good look, and for either side, because if there's any suggestion of any impropriety on the part of the high-ranking legislators or legislator or others into getting this woman fired, that's not a good look either on either side. So we were talking about Myra J brought us up to date with this ad. And so that is, as the Republicans have nothing on the Democratic candidate, Reverend Raphael Warnock. So this is what they have come up with. Myra, we have the video.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Meet Raphael Warnock. He wants you to know he eats pizza with a fork and a knife. He once stepped on a crack in the sidewalk. But Georgians don't care about that. Georgians care that Raphael Warnock was a proud defender of anti-American, anti-Semitic pastor Jeremiah Wright, who suggested America deserved the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Not God bless America, God damn America.
We celebrate Reverend Wright.
Warnock said law enforcement officers are gangsters and thugs and a danger to children. He's anti-Israel, anti-Second Amendment, sympathizes with Marxists and socialists, and wants to make your neighborhoods less safe. Don't let him fool you with pizza and puppies. Raphael Warnock is too extreme for Georgia.
Wow.
You know what? I hadn't even seen this one. I saw a different version of this one, and the screen is very, very dark. They got him looking like Yaphet Kotto. I swear. It's such a cheesy, awful ad, but this one is bad too. But yeah, that's
so for those who don't know, what they're playing on is he has an ad where he makes fun of, like, they're going to talk about bad things about me, so I eat my pizza with a fork, so that what they're taking is his ad,
right.
About an ad about them and using it against him. So that's just to set up what the first part was about, if you don't understand.
Right.
So thank you, Chickadilly, for getting that for us. Myra,
what they did? the one that I saw on television is cheesy looking, and it's awful. It's freaking awful.
They did what Time Magazine did to O.J. Simpson that time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That's
Darkened
just
them all up to make them seem more
darken them
menacing.
up. Yeah, yeah.
Or was it also the Golf Channel that did it to Tiger Woods? You know,
Which is
all of
very hard
those.
to do, by the way. That's very hard to do. Like that was a lot.
That's taking some black paint.
That's turning that contrast knob real low.
All the way. Yep.
So I wonder who is behind. Oh, I know that's her ad. I know that's Kelly Loeffler's ad. But I wonder, like, who is the because everything in Atlanta is black. So who is the advertising agency that came up with that ad?
They probably had to go up to Rome or to some other part. Trust me.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't in Atlanta.
It didn't come out of Fulton County. I promise you.
It came out of that place wherever REM is from. That's where that
I'm like no.
That's where that came from.
Wow. Okay,
I would like. Okay, Julie Hazel has asked, how long must one reside in Georgia before being able to vote? That's not the right question. It's exactly what you're not supposed to ask. But I believe the answer is 2 weeks. No, just play it. Just kidding. This is humor.
Yes.
We will get that for you, Julie, if it's necessary for somebody who is planning to make a move to the great state of Georgia in order to vote. Coronavirus today has made a tip over to the 250,000 deaths mark. There are now 250,000 people who have been killed by coronavirus. 11.5 million cases in this country, and 250,000 people have died as a result of this. And as one party is coming into office and trying to make a difference and get something done as far as the vaccines are concerned, as far as possibly a stimulus package for people is concerned, they are being blocked at every turn by the current White House. And this is going to do nothing more than set the country back even further in their effort to make some progress against this disease, which is bad enough now as we are in this advanced stage of more cases, right? And there are states like the great state of Texas. We're number one. The governor said no shutdown, even though we crossed that 1 million case mark last week, and the first to do so. Over 1 million cases of coronavirus in the state of Texas, and the governor, in his genius act, has said no, there will be no shutdowns, the way other governors have found that they should do in order to stop the virulence of this disease.
Well, here in Georgia, Brian said it's not going to be. He doesn't care if President-elect Biden has a national mask mandate. There will be no mask mandate in the good state of Georgia. That's what Brian said last week. Bless his heart.
So Myra, here's the other thing. In the great state of Texas, Senator Ted Cruz, who was called Lion Ted by his good friend Donald Trump during the primary for president in 2016, Ted Cruz has called the senator from Ohio an ass. An ass for asking another senator to put his mask on while he's talking and spitting on somebody who is working right below him.
Yep. It is. Oh, go ahead, Steve.
No, please. No, go.
No, I just find it so interesting that these politicians just hang on so dearly, like the governor of South Dakota.
Yes.
I can't think of her name, but she said, "My people are happy here and my people are free." This is where they held the rally.
The bike rally.
The numbers are off the chain in South Dakota now. They are practically at full capacity, and we get crickets from her. Crickets And I don't understand what they are holding on to so dearly. And to me, even if I was the type of person who was like, okay, I don't really think it's a real virus. But if I'm looking at first responders and people who work in the hospital who are coming day after day after day with tears in their eyes saying, I'm holding people's hands who are dying, and I'm the last person that they talk to because they can't talk to their family. I would just put the mask on. It's not hurting anything. So why they fight so hard against it? I don't comprehend that.
So a couple of things. Christy, know him or know him?
No.
Know him, but don't like him. Her point was, we're going to let our good Dakotans figure it out for themselves. That's what people. What I'm still stunned at is that, like, she looks at it as an individual thing, not that like every cough is a loaded gun, right? Almost literally, if you're in a nursing home, every cough is basically a loaded gun. So it's not just about your health; it's about other people's health. Number one.
Right.
Number two, I must admit, I am surprised. I knew there was going to be political posturing around the virus for the election. There had to be. But I figured once the election was over, and now people for the most part are secure in their positions for at least 2 years, right? So this whole no mask thing and flying in the face of science, which when you're going for the quick fix, I understood it. I didn't like it. I thought it was unhealthy. But I understood it because you want to make sure you get elected. Election's done. Now you really should do what's best for health and best for the people. And the fact there are people still going no mask and they're not really thinking about it. I can't imagine what
It's the most selfish thing I've ever. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. The other side of this, Stephen Hill, is that your mayor has shut down the school system. That's it, right? As of tomorrow.
So there was, I think it was a 3% rate. Once they got over the 3% infection rate, it was like shut it all down. So as of tomorrow, public schools are closed. Other schools had already been closed. But people have got to understand. And I admit, I was walking down the street today and realized and thought this is worse than it was at the Apex, and there are people in restaurants, right? When it was this bad, when it was close to this bad before, the streets in New York were deserted. Now it's getting worse and streets are full. I'm the most optimistic guy I know for the most part, and I am not optimistic. I'm not optimistic at this point.
Well, Mayor Lightfoot has shut down the city of Chicago, and trust me, when you right. Well, let me tell you something. When you shut down the stepper set. Girlfriend, you got some cojones, okay? Because they hot in Chicago, okay?
You can look at Mayor Lightfoot and know she does not know from a good stepper.
Yo, hilarious.
I'm like,
she doesn't. No, she's not a stepper. And you are absolutely right. That takes some big ones. Yeah.
You got a bad girlfriend.
But here's the other side of it, you guys. What is it about not candidates, but the Democrats who are saying you got to follow the rules, you got to wear your mask, you got to be in an environment where no more than 10 people, and yet they're flaunting the rules. You got House Speaker Nancy Pelosi went to get her hair done that one day, not wearing a mask. You know, they closed down the shop for her, and you know she got videoed going and getting her hair done. Now she has gotten in trouble again for inviting 50 people for Thanksgiving dinner or something ridiculous.
No,
Nancy.
No, Nancy.
You can't do as I say and not as I do. Come on.
Going back to the person who called the person an ass. It was like it's not a matter of how far you are from the mic. It's how you look to the American public. You're supposed to be a model. Right.
Yes.
So why are you doing this? I think didn't Newsom get caught up there? Wasn't Newsom
And that's what
at
that's the other part that's the other thing I was going to talk about. He went to a birthday party and there were a gazillion people there. He's like, "Oh, my bad, you caught me."
No.
Governor.
Fox News sits waiting for stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nancy has done it twice. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, has done it twice, trying to get away with something. Now Governor Newsom is another one, and they're calling him on this. This is ridiculous.
Listen. If you know me.
Oh, he's serious. He's taking his glasses off now.
Okay.
If I can stay away from the party, if I can keep my ass off the dance floor, anybody who's been on the cruise, if I can keep my ass off the dance floor, you can do the same.
That's right. That's right. Chica, record that. Yeah, we're going to make that. Please record that. We're going to have that as our public service announcement from the What You Need to Know newsletter. And from Ha-Has to Ahas with Sybil Wilkes and Stephen Hill. Our producer, Yolanda Sarks-White, says, what if people really don't believe in masks and it's not political for them?
This ain't freaking Santa Claus. It could kill you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
This is coming from the girl who is living her life. And so, but I
believe in that.
You believe it? I know you do. So,
I mean, what about the people that don't?
But
it's law. It's the law. You should be charged with murder if you are not wearing your mask. Just the same way, I think that everybody who has died, their family members should be charging Donald Trump with murder.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing. It's very, very selfish. People didn't want to wear seatbelts. I'm old enough to remember that.
That's right. That's right.
In cars, people had a freaking fit. It's my car. You can't tell me what to do when I'm behind the wheel. I'm on the road. It's going to trap me in the car when I get an accident. But now people get in. They snap. You get on a plane. Now, I've never been in a plane crash. Thank God. Hope I'm never in one. Now, I don't know really how much good the damn seatbelt is going to do. Honest to goodness, if you drop it at 30,000 feet. But what the hell? You put the damn seatbelt on. Period. It's not about what I have rights not to put my seatbelt on the plane. Then we have a right not to let your ass on here.
Same with the mask. Then you can't come on this plane.
Thank you.
And in the state of Texas, there was a big thing about wearing your motorcycle helmet. You know, that's like, no, I have the right not to wear a motorcycle helmet, and if I die, I die. Okay, but here's a way to get at you, and this is what Then we're gonna penalize you. State taxes and money coming from the government to the state. We're gonna make sure that you don't get so much of it if you do not go along with the wearing a helmet. It's just, why not? What is it going to kill you?
Right.
No, but if you're not wearing it, is the possibility of killing people? Yes.
That's the thing. It's and I'm stunned. Like people like Christy Nome, they don't understand. It's not about the person who's wearing the mask. It's about the people around. And like, I just don't understand how people are not able to conceive that or so. Oh yeah, I should do what I can to protect everybody around me.
And I get, people like Yolanda, she really does. She abides by the law. She got all of the gear, the mask, the plastic. She walks around like Michael B. Jordan looked last night on but it just, what can it hurt?
Exactly.
What's the worst that could happen? You might save a life.
Yeah.
Americans are not used to being inconvenienced. We are an entitled people.
Spoiled.
We are a spoiled, entitled people.
Yes. Yes.
Nation. It's not, and this is not a racial thing.
Right.
It's not a racial thing. We are a spoiled nation. When you compare us to everyone else in the world, even black folk, right? When you compare us to everybody else, we have certain unalienable rights, and we believe those rights extend much farther than they actually should when it involves other people's health.
Go to some of these other countries without a mask and see if they don't snatch your ass up with a machine gun. Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me. We are a spoiled nation. It doesn't hurt you to wear the mask, whether you believe in it or not. Wear the mask.
It takes away my freedom. It takes away my freedom.
My rats. I got rats. I live in the South. I got rats.
That's what Brian says.
Brian, I got rats.
Myra, before we close, I just want to give you an opportunity to express your good wishes and for a full recovery to our friend Sinbad.
Yes, absolutely. Prayers up. Such a good guy. If you've ever just met him, as a comic, I've had many one-on-one conversations, and very, very quickly, one of the funniest stories he ever told me. When he said when he was in, this was many years ago, he's in church in Los Angeles, big mega church. He said, when I'm in church, I am not Sinbad, I am David. I am there with my family. I want to worship. He said, I'm sitting in the back of the church. He said, and they're up in the front. Yeah. They're up there, and he's like, oh yeah, Sinbad's in the house, y'all. Everybody give Sinbad a hand. Sinbad, come on down. He said, and all these people are coming down. And so then he said, I'm down at the front of the church, and the preacher starts preaching and stuff. And then he said, and then he starts talking in tongues, and everybody up there is talking in tongues. And he said, I'm thinking, if I don't start talking in tongues, everybody in church is going to start talking about it. He said, so I threw my head back, was going, and he said, all I could hear was my son in the back of the church going, Mama, is something wrong with Daddy? Get well, Sinbad. We love you. We love you.
We do love you.
We love you, bad.
Absolutely. And Stephen Hill, I know that we talked about how he has just been such a long-time friend to the Tom Jordan Morning Show, going back to almost to day one, and all of the good times, and the birth of Aruba Tommy from the Soul Beach Music Festival.
Yes.
And all of that. So I can't say it enough. And if we do say it every day, we can't say it enough. We love you and want you to get better. Absolutely. You guys, thank you so much for another wonderful episode of What You Need to Know. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Myra, I may be seeing you from afar as trying to figure out how to work this thing to come down and to help people in the period leading up to the runoff election. So,
okay.
Whoa. Sybil, you're going to travel?
I'm going to. I think I might be driving.
What judges is driving traveling? Is driving traveling? Yeah, it is. The judges have told me that driving is traveling.
Traveling, yes, yeah.
Wow.
I'm working my way up to this. I really am, Steve, and you know how this is for me. But I'm working my way, trying to clear my head. And
let me know if I can help in any way.
Okay.
If you didn't know before now how important this Senate race is in Georgia, the fact that Sybil is willing to get on the road, leave. I believe she's actually been in one room for the entire time. She's been in one room for the entire. The fact that she's thinking about leaving that and going to Georgia, you get your ass out there and register. If you're not registered,
and vote.
You get your ass out there and register.
Chica,
don't make her come to your house.
Chica, please record this. This is going to be another PSA for us. So working towards that. So
wow, that's big.
And working with Black Voters Matter because they're doing great things down there. All right, you guys, I love you both very much. I appreciate you. Myra, how can people find you?
I'm here in my kitchen. No. Facebook, you can friend me at Myra J, and the last name is just Myra J backwards. So it's Myra J, Jarym. Hit me up there.
That's really easy. And also probably at just sipping a little adult beverage someplace on the corner. Stephen Hill, tomorrow night, Sunglasses and Soul.
Sunglass Soul Music actually will take a back seat. We'll either do that late or not at all because there's a versus battle between Gucci Mane and Jeezy. Now,
that's tomorrow. Okay.
I don't know how many people here are really into trap hip hop out of Atlanta, but this is a very, very big deal. Picture Ali and Frazier like after some real serious violence between the two of them getting together. It's kind of like this on steroids. Gucci and Jeezy. Great musicians both, cool people both, but they had beef with each other, and so this is going to be a big deal tomorrow night. The Steez will have a pre-show, Instagram Live, 7:30 p.m. before the
Eastern
versus.
7:30 Eastern.
7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Western.
Okay.
And also, I totally forgot. Go to my page because I don't have all the information memorized, but Friday after Thanksgiving, myself and Griff, we are hosting a jazz show with Mike Phillips. If you all don't know Mike Phillips, yes, horn player extraordinary. He played with Prince for 7 years, so you know he ain't no joke. This is a free online event. It'll be the Friday after Thanksgiving, and the information is on my page on how to register. So,
And you and the amazing Griff.
Yes.
Mike
Phillips is the only person that kind of stood up and kind of cursed out Prince and lived to tell about it as a musician. You can ask him a question. Ask him, tell you
and
that
these
story.
two Prince fans know all of that. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. And Steve, Saturday night on
Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri has a wonderful, again, Atlanta-based. Everything's out of Atlanta. He, Jonte, Austin, and B. Cox and Neil wrote a song called Changes about what's happening in the Black community. It's a fantastic thing. We're going to play that on Saturday and talk to Jermaine Dupri about that. Also about how he and I got Mariah Carey on a subway one night. It's another story.
There are pictures of that, aren't there?
There are indeed. There are indeed.
All right, you guys, thanks so much. And we will talk to you all soon. Appreciate you. Tomorrow, George Wallace will be with us, and we will have the two attorneys extraordinaire, C.K. Huffler, who is the president of the National Bar Association, and also the great Barbara Arnwine, talking about what's going on in Georgia as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Be safe. Mask up, whether you want to or not. Wash your hands. And we'll see you tomorrow.